What up, Crypto Warriors? It's Ultra Crypto back at it again. Today is the 1st of February 2021, Monday, the 1st of February 2021. January blew right by. We've seen a lot of stuff happen in only the first month of the year. I hope you have your popcorn ready because it's only going to get better from here on out. Crazy. All right, so Bitcoin, past 24 hours, a little bit in the green. ETH up as well. XRP is pulling back over the past 24 hours. I guess after that Wall Street or Satoshi's bets pump, they pumped it, got their gains, and pulled right out. No true diamond hands in that group, I guess. Polkadot up a little bit. Cardano is really winning over the week and the past 24 hours. Chainlink up a little bit. Litecoin up as well. Bitcoin Cash and Binance Coin again winning over the past week, and so is Stellar. Oh, and let's not forget Uniswap. Oh my goodness, look at this right here. Uniswap has been on a tear, especially since this whole situation with the Wall Street bets, Robinhood, GameStop, stonks, everything, right? And yeah, let's not forget Dogecoin as well. All right, let's get into it. This comes from Decrypt. Elon Musk supports Bitcoin, saying it is a good thing. Now, on the app Clubhouse, he was a part of it last night and came out and spoke about Bitcoin. I am a supporter of Bitcoin. This is a direct quote from him. I am late to the party, but a supporter. Bitcoin is on the verge of getting broad acceptance by traditional finance people. Great news right there. I have to be careful what I say. It can affect the market. So at least he knows that he can sway markets with his words and his tones. So he was kind of holding back, and he understands that Doge is a meme coin. So for all you supporters out there that, I tell people with Doge, it's going to pump. It's always going to have a pump. But don't think that it's going to replace Bitcoin. Okay? But again, it's always going to pump during any bull market, even in a bear market. As long as there's some influence out there that eventually finds Doge and gets put onto it somehow, they'll pump it to their millions of followers, and it will always get a pump. So throwing a little $300 to $400 that you don't mind sitting and waiting for it to pump to double or triple or 10x or whatever, you just take your time and wait. It will always pump. Spend too much time on that. Next, so this was coming from Markets Weekly, and this is a very lengthy article. I'm just going to go down to the part where they interviewed the chairman, Jerome Powell, of the Federal Reserve, and they asked him, they asked this guy if all that basically free money, right, the zero interest rates and the pumping of currency into the markets, if that's if there's any correlation, if it's basically the cause of what's happening. And this is his answer. I think the connection between low interest rates and asset values is probably something that's not as tight as people think, because a lot of different factors are driving asset prices at any given time. Like, dude, are you serious? You're basically giving money away for free. What do you think people are going to do with it? The smart people are going to pump it into assets because they realize that this currency that you're printing is worth nothing. You keep printing more and more of it, devaluing the currency. The best way to protect yourself is to put it in real assets. Next, this is again coming from the Clubhouse meeting last night. Elon Musk gets Robinhood CEO to spill the beans on the trade restrictions. Now I'm going to play a clip at the end of this, and I had it recorded it at 1 1/4 speed. So if you already listen or watch the videos at a faster rate, just know that that video that I'm including is already sped up at 1 1/4 speed. But basically, Elon Musk kind of grilled this dude Vlad, the CEO of Robinhood, about what happened last week, and basically wanted him to. He grilled him, but he didn't grill him, right? Because we know that Citadel Clearinghouse, Robinhood is basically selling the information to them, and that's how Robinhood makes their money, right? And they were losing money essentially, and you know he kind of alluded to it like, oh no, that's just conspiracy theory. They didn't tell us to stop, but I'll let you guys listen to the video. More about this again. This is coming from Cointelegraph. Mark Cuban thinks Wall Street stands no chance against digital natives. In a January 31st blog post yesterday, Cuban suggested that old school investment community is currently taking a kicking from what he describes as the store of value generation. Store of value generation. Remember, this is the same guy that said that a banana is better than Bitcoin. He's not that stupid. Remember that. All right. This generation knows that a smart contract and the digital good it reflects or a crypto asset are a better investment than old school see, touch, or feel uses. Fat and happy Wall Street has become slow, stale, and set in their ways, which makes them an easier than anyone would expect target. This year, Cuban had come out as a bigger crypto follower than he has previously let on. Like I've stated in many of my videos, he's come out and talk about Bitcoin being not even a store of value. You know, banana is better, has more use case than Bitcoin, but we're seeing him, you know, quote unquote, changing his tone. Even recently, my minting some limited edition NFTs on Rarible. So he knows what's up. He knows what's up. And speaking about this whole situation that's happening, right? This whole thing with the Wall Street bets, with the pumping and the shutting off trades from not only Robinhood, but Robinhood took the brunt of that, but also the from WEBULL and different trading platforms out there. They basically shut everything off, and people are only allowed to sell, right? And my thing is, if you come here, if you go to a place like a Uniswap, right, you can not only participate in getting some of those trading fees, right? Because Robinhood, they're not giving we are the products on Robinhood, right? Nothing is for free. So on something like a Uniswap or a Sushi Swap, where you're able to participate and get a percentage of the fees by providing liquidity, you're able to earn some residual income by participating in the market. It's these guys on Wall Street, they're basically their days are numbered, right? Because everything is becoming more digital, and we're going to see like a changing of the guard, so to speak. The only thing is we have to fix these ridiculous gas fees. Check this out. 2.3 ETH to stake some tokens here on Sushi Swap. It's the same thing on Robinhood. It's not just Sushi Swap, but we got to fix these ridiculous fees, man. No, unless you're really balling out there with, a lot of ETH, then you really can't participate. But as with layer 2 solutions being implemented, and like Matic Network, Loopring, we're going to see these fees slowly but surely disappear. And also, let's remember that ETH 2.0 launched in the end of November, and they're in phase 0 right now, but eventually all these fees will disappear. All right, I'm going to play that video, and you're going to see Elon grill this guy Vlad Tenev from Robinhood. And yeah, let's discuss it in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. Pay attention to the video, and smash the like, hit that subscribe button, notification bell, and all that good stuff. And it's Sergeant Crypto. Thanks for watching, and I'm out. Peace.
Want to know the details and the truth? Yep. Okay, so let me start by giving a little bit of background. So I'm the chief executive of Robinhood. Robinhood is actually I'll go through this quickly. Don't worry. This is important. It's actually a couple of companies. So there's an introducing broker dealer called Robinhood Financial, and that basically is the app that you know and love. It processes trades. You're a customer of Robinhood Financial. Then there's a clearing broker dealer, Robinhood Securities, that clears and settles the trades. And then we have Robinhood Crypto, which is our crypto business. All of these are kind of different entities that are differently operated. So basically Wednesday of last week, we just had, unprecedented volume, unprecedented load on the system. A lot of these, so-called meme stocks were, going viral on social media, and people were joining Robinhood, and there was a lot of net buy activity on them, as you guys all know. And Robinhood at this time, I think, was #1 on the iOS App Store, and pretty close, if not #1 on Google Play as well. So just unprecedented activity. And so Thursday morning, right? So I'm sleeping, but at 3:30 a.m. Pacific, our operations team receives a file from the NSCC, which is the National Securities Clearing Corporation. So basically, as a clearing broker, and this is where Robinhood Securities comes in, we have to put up money to the NSCC based on some factors, including things like the volatility of the trading activity, concentration into certain securities, and this is the equities business, so it's based on stock trading and not options trading or anything else. So they gave us a file with a deposit, and the request was around $3 billion, which is, about an order of magnitude more than what it typically is, right? So why was that so high? Like, this seems like it sounds like this is an unprecedented increase in demand for capital. What formula did they use to calculate that? Well, and just to give context, Robinhood up until that point has raised, a little bit, around $2 billion in total venture capital up until now. So it's a big number. Like $3 billion is a large number, right? So basically the details are, we don't have the full details. It's a little bit of an opaque formula, but there's a component called the VAR of it, which is value at risk. And that's based on kind of some fairly quantitative things, although it's not fully transparent. So there are ways to reverse engineer it, but it's not kind of publicly shared. And then there's a special component, which is discretionary. So that kind of acts as a multiplier. And basically discretionary meaning like it's just their opinion. Yeah, it's a little bit. I mean, I'm sure there's definitely more than just their opinion, but basically, well, I mean, I guess like it's based on growth. What everyone wants to know is like, did something maybe shady go down here? It's like, it seems weird that you get a sudden $10 billion demand. Three in the morning. Sorry, how much? Yeah, it was $3 billion US dollars. $3 billion. Okay, so $3 billion around. Just suddenly out of nowhere. And what percentage? I wouldn't impute shadiness to it or anything like that. And actually, the NSCC was reasonable subsequent to this, and they worked with us to actually lower it. So it was unprecedented activity. I don't have the full context about what's going on in the NSCC to make these calculations, but essentially. Is anyone holding you hostage right now? No, I'm okay. Yeah. Thanks for asking. But anyway, so this was obviously nerve-wracking, and I actually was asleep at this point. The operations team was fielding this at 3 o'clock, and then we got back, we put our heads together. Our chief operating officer basically said, "Look, let's call up the higher ups at the NSCC and kind of figure out what's going on. Maybe there's some way we can work with them." And basically there was another call, and they lowered it to something like $1.4 billion from 3. Okay. So, we were making some progress, right? And then, but it's still a high number. And then we basically proposed, well, let's explain how we plan to, let's explain how, we'll manage risk in these symbols throughout the day. We proposed marking these volatile stocks that were kind of driving the activity, position closing only. And then at about an hour before market open, so 5:30 or 5 in the morning, they came back and they said, okay, the charge is, or the deposit's $700 million, which we then deposited and paid promptly, and then everything was fine. So that essentially explains why we had to mark these symbols position closing only, and also why we didn't want to. We knew this was a bad outcome for customers. Part of what's been really difficult is Robinhood stands for democratizing access to stocks, and yes, we want to give people the access. So that's been very, very challenging. But we had no choice in this case. We had to conform to our regulatory capital requirements, and so the team did what they could to make sure we were available for customers.
Who controls this organization, this clearinghouse?
It's a consortium. It's not quite a government agency. I don't really know the details of all of that.
Okay.
But and to be fair, like we were I think there was legitimate sort of turmoil in the markets. Like these are unprecedented events with these meme stocks, and there was a lot of activity. So there probably is some amount of extra risk in the system that warrants higher requirements. So it's not entirely unreasonable. But we did operational processes to make sure that customers that had positions could sell their open positions, because obviously restricting someone, we got a lot of questions about, okay, you had to restrict buying, why didn't you also restrict selling? And the fact of the matter is people get really pissed off if they're holding stock and they want to sell it and they can't, right? So I think that's categorically worse. So and lots of other brokers, I think, were in the same situation. Robinhood was in the news, but you sort of heard this industry-wide, right? Other brokers basically restricted the same exact activity.
All right, so it sounds like this organization calls you up and they basically have a gun to your head, either hand over this money or else. And so, because I mean, like basically what people are wondering is like, did you sell your clients down the river, or did you have no choice? And if you had no choice, that's understandable. But then we got to find out why you had no choice, and who are these people that are saying you have no choice?
Yeah, I think that's fair. We have to comply with these requirements. Financial institutions have requirements. The formula behind these requirements, I think it would obviously be ideal if there was a little bit more transparency so we could plan better around that. But to be fair, we were able to open and serve our customers, and 24 hours later, our team raised over $1 billion in capital, so that when we did open, when we do open tomorrow morning, we'll be able to kind of relax the stringent position limits that we put on these securities on Friday.
Will there be any limits?
Well, I think there's always going to be some theoretical limit. Like we don't have infinite capital, right? Okay. And on Friday there were limits. So there's always going to have to be some limit. I think the question is, will the limits be high enough to the point where they won't impact 99.9+% of customers. So if someone were to deposit $100 billion and decide to trade in one stock like that, that wouldn't be possible.
All right. All right. Well, I guess people really just want to know, if you had no choice, then you had no choice. It's a gun to the head situation. And, then that's understandable. But then whoever put that gun to your head should, be willing to answer to the public.
Yeah, listen, and, I know there's processes. This is unprecedented times. And to be fair to those guys, they've been reasonable. So I think the one thing that is maybe not clear to people is Robinhood is a participant in the financial system. So we have to work with all of these counterparties. So we do get a lot of questions about, why do you work with market makers? Why do you work with clearing houses? Vertically integrating and getting, it's hard enough to build introducing a clearing broker dealer. Not too many people have done that. But the financial system that allows customers to trade shares is sort of a complex web of multiple parties. And, it's hard to, I think everyone says, oh, it could be better, it could be improved. It's just a necessity of trading equities in the U.S. that you have to do all these things.
I mean, to what degree are you beholden to Citadel? I mean, like basically, if Citadel's unhappy, then what happens?
Yeah, so that there was a rumor that Citadel or other market makers kind of pressured us into doing this, and that's just false, right? Market makers execute our trades. They execute trades of every broker dealer. This was a clearinghouse. This was a clearinghouse decision, and it was just based on the capital requirements. So, from our perspective, Citadel and other market makers weren't involved in that.
But wouldn't they have a strong say in who got put in charge of that organization, since it's an industry consortium, not a government consortium, or not a government regulatory agency?
I don't have any reason to believe that. I think that's just like, then you're getting into kind of the conspiracy theories a little bit. So I just have no reason to believe that that's the case,
Okay. All right. Well, I guess we'll see what happens with future tractions. Hopefully that was insightful or at least a little bit entertaining. Are you not entertaining?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't know what to say. First of all, Vlad, thank you so much for